Please stand and remain standing until all graduates have entered. over there. I will direct everyone's attention to the flagpole for the presentation of colors by the Newark High School Junior ROTC. Gentlemen, please remove your hats. Please be seated. It is my pleasure to welcome you to the 165th Newark High School graduation ceremony. It is also my pleasure to introduce our distinguished guests. Please stand and recognize, and audience, please hold your applause until all have been recognized. Mr. Doug Ute, Superintendent of Schools. Mr. Tom Blind, Board President. Mr. Tim Carr, Board Vice President. Mr. Kurt Harden, Board Member. Ms. Bev Nickham, Board Member. Mr. Jeff Anderson, Treasurer of Schools. Mrs. Mindy Vaughn, Director of Curriculum. Ms. Gemma Zimmerman, Director of Special Projects. Ms. Maura Horgan, Director of Curriculum. Mrs. Barbara Quackenbush, Director of Personnel. Ms. Linda Price, Director of Special Education. Mrs. Jean Brown, Director of Special Education. Mr. Dave Allpeter, Business Director. Mr. Seth Roy, Communications Director. Also, I'd like to introduce our assistant principals for the high school, Mrs. Kim Serino, Mr. Tom Bowman, Mrs. Jessica Korm, and Mr. Jeff Quackenbush. Thank you. It truly does take a village to raise a child. At this time, I would like every Newark City School employee that is in attendance in the audience today, K through 12, to stand. You have played an important role in allowing the students seated before me to reach their goal, graduating from high school. And today we would like to show a little appreciation. Let's give these teachers, custodians, and school workers a round of applause. I direct your attention to the program, which denotes the students who achieved a 4.0 during their high school career, as well as students who achieved a 3.5 to a 3.99 during their high school career. Obviously, this takes a lot of personal sacrifice and hard work. Let's give these students a round of applause. It is my pleasure to introduce Mr. Doug Ute, Superintendent of School, to present some awards.
Thank you, Mr. Fullen. What a beautiful day we have today. Before I introduce our speakers, Mr. Fullen's mentioned a few things about the awards of the senior class. I want to take a moment to share with our community and our parents something that Mark won't mention today, and that's I've been reflecting back the last month or so as I get around to seniors a little bit more at some of our programs and those type of things. Excuse me a second. I like that breeze, but it's... And I reflect back 4 years ago when we went back out to the middle schools when they were in 8th grade and looked them in the eye and talked about a $40 million building project that the district was doing, building a brand new high school on site with 1,500 students, and talked to them about, here's what it's going to look like when it's done, and you have to help us, you have to lead us, get us there. And I'd like to have our community and parents recognize our students for their leadership during that building project. It was simply awesome. Let's give them a hand, please. Our first speaker today is Mr. Kurt Harden. Kurt's a 1982 graduate of Newark High School, is this year's recipient of the Alumni Citizenship Award. This annual award is bestowed to a Newark High School graduate who has made a significant impact on the lives of others within our community. Mr. Harden is President and Chief Operating Officer of MedBen. He's been employed there since 1992. After graduating from Newark High School in 1982, he attended Bowling Green State University and graduated in 1986. He's been very involved in the Newark community. He served on the Newark Board of Education since 2012. From 2001 through 2004, Mr. Harden was a member of City Council, serving as chairman of several committees, including Rules, Finance, and Economic Development. He served 2 terms as chairman of the board of Licking County Chamber of Commerce from 2000 to 2001 and 2008 to 2009. Mr. Harden and his wife, Catherine, also a Newark High School graduate, have 5 children. 3 are currently enrolled in the district, including 1 who is graduating today. His 2 other children are Newark High School graduates. Please help me welcome Kurt Harden.
Thanks, Doug. Thank you, Doug. Also, thank you to the fellow board members of the school board, to the staff, faculty, Newark City Schools, and to you, the students, who are about to be forced to listen to me, to the parents and the family members in the audience. I have to tell you that an Alumni Citizenship Award would probably have surprised a number of teachers, parents, administrators, members of the law enforcement community, as I was going through the Newark school system. I thoroughly enjoyed my experience in the Newark City schools. I mean, I thoroughly enjoyed my experience in the Newark City schools. And while being chased down Wright Street at 1 a.m. by a Newark City Schools security guard might be invigorating, it might be life-affirming, it doesn't lend itself generally to a citizenship award. So really, I stand before you students as a sort of a beacon of hope. There is still hope for every single one of you out there, including our wonderful son, Benjamin, who sits right out here in the audience, who also enjoyed himself so much in the Newark City schools. You can change after high school. It is never too late. I'm proof of that. Graduation is a season of advice. You'll be given lots of it. You hear in colleges and high schools all across this country during this season, speakers telling you to follow your passion, to do what you love, to see the world, to dream big dreams, maybe to get a job. Inspiring speeches are given. And candidly, little of it will stay with you. I was trying to think the other day of the advice that I received on graduating from high school or from college. I do remember that my college commencement speaker was Mr. Rogers, the children's television show person, Mr. Rogers. He neither sang nor tied his shoes during the entire thing. And if you're old enough to get that joke, That's great. I know what you students really want to do today. You want to walk across this hallowed field, across Whitefield, and join the tens of thousands of other Newark graduates who have walked before you so that you can move on with your life, graduation, diploma in hand. I recently read a list of things that you rarely hear people say. One of them was, "It must be true, I read it on the internet." The other was, "I wish people would talk more during the movie." Or how about if I could just put on another 20 or 30 pounds? One that struck home with me, "I just want to grow up and become an insurance executive." But the one that caught my eye was this one. "That speech should have been longer." You just don't hear people say that. Winston Churchill said, "The head cannot absorb more than the seat can endure." And that was in my mind when I thought about what you all might like to hear from me on this stage. The quick answer that came back to me was that you would like to hear me wrap it up. You would like to hear the sounds of my footfalls as I head back to my seat so that you can get closer to graduating. So I'll make you a deal. I will offer only one single piece of advice today to you on this day of advice giving. Only one piece of advice if you students will promise that you'll try to remember it. Do we have a deal? So here it is. Who said no? As you move on in life, to college, to work, to families, and to the success that always awaits you, remember to be where you are at that moment. That's really deep, isn't it? Let me explain. One very important lesson I have learned, over and over I should add, from experience and observation, from failure and success, is that when I have generally been successful at something, and I was happy at doing it, I was fully there. I was present in that moment. When I met my best friends in life, I was there experiencing life with them. That was what made those friendships. Even in business, when I was fully in the moment, I've always had the best chance of succeeding, whether in a presentation or just doing my job on a daily basis. Sometimes I wonder if we would have had Facebook and Twitter and cell phones when I was in school, would I have ever looked up at the right time that fall day in 1981 to notice that sophomore girl walking down the hall in C building? That girl who became that woman, who became my wife, and then maybe Benjamin wouldn't be sitting here in front of me. Would I have been too busy framing a selfie of me and my friends? Too busy texting someone who was somewhere else? Too busy checking out how many likes I had? And since those days when I was in high school of rotary phones and campus-style classrooms at Newark High School, I've noticed something else. Whenever I am somewhere else, at work in my mind when I should be at home in my mind when I should be at work, whenever I am not there, there is a much greater chance for failure, and I am not nearly as happy. The first semester of college for our two oldest children was tough on them, in part because they were spending so much time staying in contact with everyone who was somewhere else, at another college, working, or far away on Facebook, that they were missing out on what was happening right in front of them. The danger that we have today is that what has made this country so great is dreaming big dreams and looking forward, and we are so often stuck in the present or in the past. That's what I mean when I urge you to be wherever you are when you're there. It's advice that's helped me immensely, and it applies no matter what you do after this day, after your time at Newark City Schools. And this is my one piece of advice for you. Finally, thank you for bestowing this honor on me. I want to take a moment to welcome you students, or to be the first one, to welcome you to an incredible fraternity of men and women with a long and wonderful history in this community. You today are becoming part of a group of people who have done great things all over this country and indeed all over the world. They're scattered about these stands. They sit on this stage with me. This is a fraternity that is built in historic schools with names like Hazelwood and Woodside and Lincoln and Miller and West Main. It's fed today by schools with names like Wilson and McGuffey and Heritage and Legend and Ben Franklin and McGuffey and many, many others all over this city. It's maintained by our teachers and our students and our alumni alike. Its achievements are made and celebrated in the classrooms and all over this city, and on this great white field in the fall, at Evans Field, and places like the Jimmy Allen Gym, and in every place where Newark can show the kind of people we are. It is a fraternity of the high school that we all hold so dear in our hearts, Newark High School. You will remember this place. Welcome to the fraternity of the Wildcats. Go Cats!
Kurt, if you could come back up, and we have a plaque for you. Thank you, Mrs. Quackenbush, for reminding me.
I've got another speech.
Okay. That one was so good, I'll just get out of the way and let him. Thank you for your service to the community. As you can see, yes, please give Mr. Harden a hand. As you can see, very deserving of the alumni award today, and students. We talk a lot about college and career readiness, and we've also talked a lot about community readiness, that third C in there. And we selected the two speakers today who we felt are definitely deserving of the community awards. This next speaker, just like Kurt, is very active in our community, Jennifer Utrivas. Jennifer is a recipient of this year's Distinguished Service Award. This honor is bestowed annually to a person who has made significant contribution to the lives of others through service to students at Newark High School and within the Newark, Ohio community. Mrs. Utrivas graduated from the University of Detroit with a bachelor's degree. She also has a hospitality degree from Holiday Inn University in Memphis, Tennessee. She was president and general manager of the Granville Inn for 27 years until the inn was sold in October of 2004. She currently is the executive director of Big Brothers Big Sisters, a position she has held for the past 9 years. She has been active in United Way, a member of Newark Rotary, past chairman of the Licking County Chamber of Commerce, a member of the State of Ohio Association of Big Brothers Big Sisters, a member of Our Futures Licking County, and of the Children and Family First Council. She served on the board of directors of Licking Memorial Hospital from 2004 to 2012. In 2007, Mrs. Utrivas received the John Alford Community Service Award. Mrs. Utrivas resides in Newark with her husband Richard. They have 2 married daughters and 3 grandchildren. Please help me welcome Jennifer Utrivas.
Wow, how exciting it is, and what an honor it is for me to be here today. I want to extend a big welcome to your honorable dignitaries, school board members, faculty, staff, parents, family, friends, and the great class of 2014. You know, today is not about me. It's all about you and what you can do. The future is so wide open, and you are right there to delve right into it and make your mark. I want to say to the student who worked so hard and did all the extra projects to get into the college that they wanted to get into, congratulations. To the student who was involved in sports and stayed up late nights to get that extra paper done, congratulations. To the student who had to work another job after leaving here because they needed the money, so you required a lot of late nights too, congratulations. And to the student who almost felt like maybe they should drop out, but held on with Josh and many of the faculty, congratulations to you. You all did it. You all worked hard, and now you're on to the next phase of your life. Congratulations. And just on a side note, I just wanted to tell you, Michelle Obama, Hillary Clinton, Oprah Winfrey, Sandra Bullock, and a slew of others could not address you today. So they sent in a substitute, and it's me. Sorry about your luck. Seriously, I will keep my remarks short, as Kurt did, because you are so happy today and it's all about you. But if I could leave you with 3 positive P's. The first one is keep a positive attitude. The power of positive thinking will get you everywhere. Gandhi once said, "A man is but the product of his thoughts. What he thinks, he becomes." Throw out the negative thoughts. Get rid of those negative friends. Throw out the words, "I can't." Fill your mind with, "I can do," and do it. We all get downs. Life is filled with ups and downs. But if you remember that it's your attitude that will make you or break you, don't stay in a negative mode. Fill your mind and heart with the positive. Choose to be happy. The second powerful P is passion. Enthusiasm does make the difference in anything and in everything. Optimism and enthusiasm are keys to achievement. If you are excited about something that will work, a new plan that you've thought through, an idea that can help you, your family, community, a job that you want, go for it. Without passion and enthusiasm, your product, plan, idea, job may never come to pass. By the way, there was a job fair in Columbus, and you probably heard about it last week on the news. And they were talking about people showing up and be ready with a resume and for an interview, so dress accordingly. But she added, the most important things new hires are looking for are passion and creativity. The third powerful P is your purpose. You only have one life. You are totally unique. Each of you has something special that only you have. It's kind of like your DNA. You were put on this earth for a special purpose. Find it, fill it, and make it your mark. To truly be happy, your purpose has to include others. So the 3 P's I leave you with, a positive attitude, passion, and purpose. My prayer for each of you today is that you keep a positive attitude no matter what comes down your life, that you are filled with passion and enthusiasm for convictions and what you want to do, and that you find your true purpose that extends outside yourself in order to make this a better world for all. I challenge you to make a difference. God bless you. Congratulations, class of 2014.
Hang on here a second. Thank you. Jennifer, in appreciation of what you do for our community, we have a plaque here Newark High School Distinguished Service Award, Jennifer Utrivas 2014. And please help me in thanking Jennifer and Kurt for their excellent examples and their leadership in our community.
Thank you so much.
At this time, I would like everyone in the audience who had served in one of our armed forces to stand. I would also like our graduates to stand who have committed to serve in one of the armed forces. At this time, let's recognize these people for their service and personal sacrifice. Thank you. It is my pleasure to introduce the Salutatorian of the class of 2014, Savannah Hodiger.
Hello, families, friends, teachers, community leaders, and graduating seniors. I want to take some time today to focus on the past and our memories together. I asked several Newark High School teachers and employees to share some of their favorite memories that they have of the senior class. Athletic Director Jeff Quackenbush shared with me the class of 2014 successes in athletics. The girls and boys basketball teams both won district runner-up. The boys were also the OCC champions. Our football team had a great win in Week 10 against Lancaster. Toby Hardwick was the cross-country state runner-up. Nicole Mercer was the first girl golfer from Newark to participate in the OHSAA tournament. And both the boys and girls bowling teams competed in the district tournament. Many student athletes will be continuing their athletic careers in college. Jessica Coram, Dean of Students, shared this story with me. I taught geometry to 17 members of the class of 2014, their 8th grade year at Wilson Middle School. It's the only class I've ever had that 5 years later, I can still name everyone in the class and tell you exactly where they sat. I've enjoyed watching these students grow and mature over the past 5 years. They were so young and naive when I taught them, but smart as could be. My favorite story involves their reaction to some of my personal news that year. During the fall, I got pregnant with my first child, and as many moms do, I decided to keep the pregnancy a secret until the first ultrasound. Unfortunately, I had a rather rough first trimester with morning sickness and whatnot, and it became increasingly apparent what I was trying to hide. My high school students had no clue. They remained blissfully unaware and thought perhaps I had swine flu or something. My 8th graders, though, quickly figured it out and would giggle and whisper. The day arrived when I finally announced to the class that I was expecting, and their reaction was something along the lines of, "We were wondering how long it would take you to figure it out." They thought they had figured out that I was pregnant before I had. It amazed me, but it got better. As soon as I was done explaining about how and why I had kept it a secret, Catherine Wagner's hand shot up, and she asked, "Have you told your husband yet?" The class erupted into laughter, and the other students informed her that I wouldn't tell them before my husband. Months later, the girls in that class decided to throw me a baby shower on my last day before maternity leave, much to the boys' dismay. It was very sweet, and I still have the Vera Bradley headband that they gave me. A final response that I want to share with you is from Robert Ensign. Mr. Ensign is a psychology and sociology teacher at the high school. He said, "This has been the best senior class I have worked with to date. The talented writers, athletes, community leaders, academic, and artistic stars have amazed me. Newark High School is a wonderful, diverse place where anyone can find a place to thrive, and the class of 2014 has done so. I will never forget the personality, humor, talent, potential, and pleasure that this class has brought to the table. I feel confident that the world will be in good hands." The NHS class of 2014 is a memorable one. Our class song is I Was Here by Beyonce. This song was the inspiration for the focus of my speech. There are several verses that I felt related to our experiences at Newark High School. There is one specific verse that I want to share today. I just want them to know that I gave my all, did my best, brought someone some happiness, left this world a little better just because I was here. All of the students sitting here before me are memorable. We left an impact on Newark High School that will never be forgotten. We made lifelong friends with our classmates, we inspired younger students, and we have teachers that we can always go to for advice. A quote by Alexander Campbell that my dad always says is this: attempt great things, expect great things, and great things will follow. The graduating seniors achieved great things at our time at Newark. Now, what about our future? How can we stay memorable after high school and continue to succeed? I know that my speech has been focusing on the past, but the truth is, we shouldn't dwell on our past. We should look back at our time at Newark High School and remember all of our great memories. We should not look back at our high school life and want to relive it. The best times of our lives are still yet to come. Every student here today has the ability to achieve bigger and better things after high school. Strive to make a difference and change the world. You have the power to do whatever you want and go wherever you wish. I want to conclude with a very familiar quote by Dr. Seuss. You have brains in your head, you have feet in your shoes. You can steer yourself in any direction you choose. You're on your own, and you know what you know. You're the guy who will decide where to go. Thank you.
It's now my pleasure to introduce the valedictorian of the class of 2014, Isaac Wheeler.
Congratulations to all of you, the Newark High School class of 2014. We did it. Today we come together to celebrate a great moment in all of our lives. We have successfully completed 13 years of education, and today we commemorate that. We have all looked forward to this day for years, and in the past couple weeks it seemed like it would never come. But here it is, graduation. But we also are gathered to celebrate our futures. Today marks the beginning of something new for us all. Some of us will move on to college, some of us into the workforce, and some of us into the armed forces. There is no doubt that graduation is a milestone in all of our lives, and will be more of these milestone days in the future. College graduations, the first day of our career, weddings, the birth of children, retirement, birth of grandchildren, and more. We look forward to these milestone days, and we will look back on them fondly. These markers show us how we have grown and matured. They show us who we have become. But every milestone day requires many days of preparation. While milestone days like today mark our growth, it is the days that lead up to them that make us who we are. These little days are the reason we are here today. If we had not prepared and worked hard while we were in school, we would not have made it to graduation, and today's milestone day would not have happened. This will be true throughout our lives. We have to be dedicated during the small, mundane, forgettable days to make it to the big days that we look forward to and will always remember. If in college we are not studious and do not continue to work at our education, we will not make it to college graduation. If we're not dedicated in our relationships, we will never reach marriage. If we're not diligent in our jobs, we will never reach retirement. If we're not dedicated on the little days, we will never reach the big days. We will live our whole life without achieving and without anything to look forward to. I believe that humans were created as dreamers and doers. God made us to look forward to these great milestones in our lives. We live in pursuit of these dreams, but that is just it. It is the pursuit of these dreams that is our lives. You have to have dedication in these little days. To achieve your dreams, you have to be dedicated to them. You have to be willing to suffer for them. Ask any professional athlete, musician, doctor, anybody at the top of their profession if they had to work hard to achieve their dreams. Ask them if they worked hard on the little days or if they woke up on the day of the Olympic trials and decided they would try running. Do you think the greatest musicians woke up one day and decided to pick up a violin and that evening played at Carnegie Hall? They did not. It took years of dedication, hard work, and struggling on the little days to reach the defining moments of their careers. Research shows that to master something, it takes 10,000 hours of practice. What that means is that it takes a lot of dedication in the little things to make the big things happen. As Thomas Edison once said, there is no substitute for hard work. A verse in the Bible, a book which has a great impact on my life, says that suffering produces perseverance, perseverance character, and character hope. This verse is referring to Christian spiritual growth, but this is true in all aspects of our lives. In life, you have to be willing to suffer for your dreams and persevere through that suffering. In turn, the suffering will make you a better person and will also give you hope that one day your dreams will be realized and you will reach those milestone days. Therefore, I challenge you to work hard every day at whatever your goals in life are. Be committed in the small things so that you can one day accomplish great things. Your dreams are not achieved by working hard every once in a while. To achieve your dreams, it will take dedication and hard work. This is something that our high school experience has prepared us for. And during every step of the way, we have had people who have helped us, and we will continue to have these people in our lives. So, in closing, I want to encourage all of you to thank those people in your lives that have helped you reach this point today. Let them know that they're important to you, and that without them, you would not be who you are today. Thank you.
It certainly takes a lot of personal sacrifice to be valedictorian or salutatorian. Let's recognize these two young people again with a round of applause. At this time, we'll have a little music by the Newark High School Swing Choir.
I've heard it said that people come into our lives for a reason, bringing something we must learn, and we are led to those who help us most to grow if we let them, and we help them in return. Well, I don't know if I believe that's true, but I know I'm who I am today because I knew you. Like a comet pulled from orbit as it passes the sun, like a stream that meets a boulder halfway through the wood. Who can say if I've been changed for the better? But because I knew you, I have been changed for good. It well may be that we will never meet again in this lifetime, so let me say before we part, much of me is beyond what I learned from you. You'll be with me. You'll be with me like a handprint on my heart. And now whatever way our stories end, I know you have rewritten mine by being my friend. Like a ship blown from its mooring by a wind off the sea, like a sea drop by a sky we know there's blame to share, and none of it seems to matter anymore.